Hi, everybody. Nice to virtually meet you. I'm Ken Grady. I'm a corporate vice president and the chief information officer at IDEXX Labs in Westbrook, Maine. Now, if you're like my mom and you don't know what a chief information officer does all day, that's quite all right. It just means that I'm responsible for all of our enterprise technology that we use to run our business, to connect with our customers, to make and ship products, to enable our employees around the world. IDEXX Labs is actually the largest publicly traded company in Maine. It's on the S&P 500. It's got over 9,000 employees, over $2.5 billion of annual revenue. It's a fantastic company focused on animal diagnostics and software. And what that means is, for your dog or your cat who can't tell you how they're feeling today or when they're not well, when you take them into the veterinarian, the diagnostics that they run, the blood work, the testing that they do, really gives that animal a voice. And it helps the veterinarian understand the health of your pet and helps the veterinarian plan for, treat and care with you and the pet owner so that your pet has a long and healthy and happy life. And it's so important because our pets are really parts of our family. Now, we also offer other diagnostics. We offer diagnostics in livestock and poultry, dairy testing for the milk on the grocery store shelves, and water, protecting the water supply for over 2 billion people around the world. So it's a fantastic company. As I mentioned, it's got a global impact and a global presence. And it's filled, as you might imagine, with animal lovers who share a common bond and a passion for what it is that we do, both with one another and with our customers. And I couldn't be more delighted to be a part of IDEXX for these past several years. But I'm not originally from Maine, as you might can tell from my accent, and perhaps the banjo and the mandolin behind me gave it away as well. I grew up in Georgia, outside of Atlanta, and I've had a chance to live all over the world, really. After Georgia, I lived in California for many years. I lived in Texas. We moved to England for several years before moving to Boston and eventually Maine. But I've also worked and set up teams in Switzerland and Germany and Italy, in India, in Japan, Australia. And really, it's been my career and my jobs that provided me the opportunity to connect with and learn about so many people and so many cultures. And that's been a fantastic rewarding experience for me as a part of my career. Now, I've always been in technology, or almost always. I actually started in computer engineering at Georgia Tech, but I left college before graduating and joined the Army and became a translator. I served 5 years active duty. I was actually an Arabic translator in the Army for 5 years before returning to technology. When I left the Army, I moved to San Francisco and I took a job on a help desk, right? And I got right into technology that way, actually working at a library systems company. Yep, there is a computer program at your library that helps keep track of all the books and the patrons, the checkouts, the interlibrary loans. I learned a heck of a lot about the library systems, although I never did learn the Library of Congress numbering system, but I still have more to learn. But I worked in high tech in many companies, and then eventually in life sciences. I've worked primarily the last 20 years in biotech and pharmaceuticals and vaccines and diagnostics, both in the human world and in the animal world, always in the technology side, but supporting research and development and production and delivery of those critical services in healthcare. And it's a fascinating area where I get to really explore and learn, both at the research bench and then through technology, what it is that enables us all to live a happy, healthy life. And that's been a big motivator for me as a part of my career, is finding an industry and finding a company that enables me to keep learning. Now, as I mentioned, my path into technology and leadership was perhaps a little unconventional, not having a full degree and going to the Army and coming back out, but it actually shows you that there are many paths to success and they don't all look the same. A big part of that was enabled for me through the mentors that I found and the coaches and the guides over the years. And of course, that started with my family. I'm a product of a divorced family, as a lot of folks are. So I had a dad and a stepmom and a stepfather and a mother, and I was blessed that they were all wonderful people and supportive and gave me a lot of advice, some of which I listened to over the years. But really, it did come down to that keep learning and stay focused, stay curious, and be open to opportunity. It doesn't always come in the way that you're going to expect. There's chances to move into different countries, different states, different towns can be scary. And certainly for me, weren't really planned. But they really opened up, those opportunities to grow my career, to take on new challenges and things I could learn, right? But I've also had fantastic bosses. I have a great support network of friends and colleagues that I can ask questions of. The most interesting questions that and conversations that I have with those mentors is often not about how did you solve this problem, but what went wrong, right? What was the worst project you ever worked on? What was the hardest thing that you saw, in that job? Those are the really interesting things, because those are the things that people learn from, right? And those are the things that if you can learn from, you're not gonna, do the same thing, perhaps. But that learning has been a big part of my motivation, along with the industry. The question, that was the question in the preparation for this was, did I follow the path that I had planned earlier in life? And I thought it was an interesting question. Yeah, clearly not. I never thought I'd end up in Maine, where for one thing, there's a lot more snow here than where I grew up. And that took a little getting used to, living in the Northeast. But it's beautiful and we love it. And I couldn't imagine living anywhere else, especially in an opportunity where I get to do the thing I love and live in a place that's so beautiful. I find a lot of inspiration from that, as well, as you can see in the paintings and things that I have, as well. But that goes back to that, being open to opportunities, being open to and curious about, things that you might not have expected to come your way. If I had one skill or piece of advice, it would be, sometimes the dumb luck fairy comes knocking with her pay attention stick, and developing the ears or the eyes to recognize that becomes a real strength. The way that you create those opportunities is through preparation. Luck is, success is 99% preparation, 1% luck perhaps. Building those skills, building that knowledge, building that network of folks that you can learn from, all is going to enable you over time to find that thing that inspires you. For me, it was technology and life sciences. For you, it might be philosophy and the law, or it might be criminal justice. It might be healthcare. It might be construction and building new homes. I worked actually in construction for very early days, and actually still enjoy my workshop a lot. All of those things coming together is what makes you unique, is what's going to make you valuable to companies, to your family, to your community. That combination of skills that you're going to accumulate is really what makes you the person that you are and the success that you can be. And, I encourage you to bring all of that to whatever you do. Bring yourself into your passion. Bring that tenacity and that persistence into your aspirations, and you will be a success. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best of luck, and I'm happy to connect or engage with anyone at any time. Feel free to reach out via LinkedIn or other social media if I can be of any assistance. Thanks.